Algebra Honors, this is our Unit 8 warm-up for Day 3. So I'm just going to actually do video of maybe half of these problems just to remind you, and then I'll post up the answers as well. So we're going to solve each one of these equations by factoring. So notice it's a full equation that's equal to 0. Okay, so first I'm going to factor out my trinomial. X squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0. I'm going to factor it and find two factors, hopefully. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 4 and add up to give me 5. Well, that's going to be 4 and 1. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So since my leading coefficient is 1, I know that I can say x plus 4 times x plus 1 equals 0, because these two factors multiplied together give me that trinomial. Now what I know is that x plus 4 must equal 0, or x plus 1 must equal 0, one or the other, or both. So what I get to do is say x plus 4 equals 0, and I also know that x plus 1 equals 0. There's more than one way to end up with 0 here, right? If x plus 4 equals 0, that means x equals negative 4, right? Subtract 4 from each side. If x plus 1 equals 0, then x equals negative 1. So I will say x equals negative 4, comma, negative 1. That's my answer. Actually, maybe I'll just do all these. M squared minus 5m equals 0. I'm going to try to factor this out, and it's not a trinomial, right? I can see that I could pull an m, and I'm left with m minus 5 equals 0. So that means m is 0, or m minus 5 is 0. Those are my options. So m is 0, or m minus 5 is 0. M minus 0, m equals 0, I'm done, right? Here m equals 5. So my options, m equals 0 and 5. Those are both ways that I can end up with, I'll square this one out too. These are both ways that I can end up with my whole my whole polynomial equaling 0, my whole equation equaling 0. So watch, if I plug in 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, that's true. If I plug in 5, 25 minus 25 is 0. Okay, so you can always double check and make sure that that's true, but both of these give me a final answer as 0. All right, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. I need two numbers that multiply to give me 2, but add to give me 3. That's going to be 2 and 1. So I get to say, I have to group, right? Sorry, I'm not going to put my parenthesis yet. Because 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, since my first coefficient is not just 1, I'm going to actually write that as 2x squared. Instead of plus 3x, I'm going to say plus 2x plus x, right? 2x plus x is the same as 3x. Plus 1 equals 0. And now I'm just going to group. I'm going to pull out 2x, and I have x plus 1. And here, I can't pull anything out I don't need to. I'm just going to have 1 outside times x plus 1. This all equals 0. I would like to make this look like two binomials, and so I can pull out x plus 1. X plus 1, and I'm left with 2x here, and I'm left with 1 here. Okay, now I have my two factors. So either x plus 1 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. So what we get to do is say x plus 1 equals 0, which means x equals negative 1, and we can say 2x plus 1 equals 0, so 2x equals negative 1, and x equals negative 1/2. See how I have two answers? Probably best to write this as x equals negative 1, comma, negative 1/2. Okay, if I were to plug negative 1 in, I would have 2 minus 3, that's negative 1, plus 1 is 0, true. And if I plug in negative 1/2, I'm going to have 2 times 1/4, so 1, that's just going to be messy and ugly. Hang on one sec. So if I plug that in, x squared, negative 1/2 squared, would be positive 1/4, right? So 2 times 1/4 is 1/2. 1/2 plus 3/2 is 4/2. 4/2. Why is that not working? Because it's 1/2 plus negative 3/2. So negative 2/2 plus 1, that's negative 1 plus 1, that's 0. They do both work. It just took me a second to get there. All right, granddaddy rule of all factoring is to pull out a greatest common factor if you can. I see that I can take 6. That leaves me with 3x squared plus 10x minus 2. That all equals 0. Two ways to do this. I can divide each side by 6 right now. I'm going to do that because watch. Poof, it's still 0. So I'm going to say 3x squared plus 10x minus 2 equals 0. I just got rid of the 6. It's fine because I'm still going to find my x-intercepts. No problem. All right, I need two numbers that multiply to give me 3 times -2, which is -6. And they have to add up to be 10. And so that's going to be, so 2x plus 3 equals 0, and also x plus 3 can equal 0. 2x equals -3, x equals -3 halves, x equals -3. My answers would be then x equals -3 and -3 halves. Okay, so that was quick and messy, I realize that, and I total disaster there, but you have lots of ways that you can factor, and find out what your x-intercepts are going to be here. Solve each equation by factoring. We found 2 answers for every single one of those. Thank you for watching.